including some reference to Jataka via Jataka, but these are not included here. Date 3rd century BCE to the 6th century CE. Language Pali form mixes. Affiliation Theravada. Hết rồi. Muốn đọc chuyện không?
Đọc chuyện đi.
Đọc chuyện hả? After the meeting today, we will... Hold on. Hey, dear Thamma friend. During our last meeting on May 16th, we covered several introductory points. During the next class on Saturday, May 23rd, we talk about Jataka number 213, Baru Jataka. You can read its English translation here. 213 là đâu? Dài quá. 500 mấy câu chuyện lận. 213 Baru Jataka Thawatna 213. The king of Baru story. The master told while staying at the Jetavana about the king of Kosala. Now we read that magnificent presents were made to the blessed one and his company. Nhưng mà không được. Đang đọc Jataka là nằm không được đúng không?
Thì đọc đi.
Không nên đúng không? Nhưng mà cái này đọc luyện tiếng Anh mà. Đâu rồi? Now we read that magnificent presents were made to the blessed one and his company, and they were held in great respect as it's written. At the time, the blessed one was honored and revered, respected, reverenced, highly esteemed, and received rich presents. Rich present robes, food, lodgment, drugs and medicines, and provisions. And the brotherhood has honor as before, but the Purium of the heterodox schools were not honored as before. Well, the secretaries write that the honor and gifts this minute convenes a secret meeting for deliberation. Since the appearance of the praised Gotama, they said, honor and gifts come no more to us, but he has got the best of both. What can be the reason of his good fortune? Then one of them spoke as follows. Praised Gotama has the best and chiefest place in all India to live in, and that's the reason of his success. Then the other said, if this is the reason, we will make a rival settlement above Jetavana, and then we shall receive presents. These were the conclusion they came to. But, thought they, if we make ourselves unknown to the king, the Breton will prevent us. If he accepts a present, he will not be disinclined to break up the settlement. So we had best bribe him to give us a place for ours. So, by the intervention of his courtier, they offered 100,000 pieces to the king with this message. Great king, we want to make a rival settlement in Jetavana. If the Breton tell you that they won't permit it, please do not give them any answer. To this the king agreed because he wanted the bribe. After thus conciliating the king, the schematics got an architect, but with the work in hand, there was a good deal of noise about it. What is all this great noise and tumult, Ananda? The master asked. The noise, said he, is some sectaries who are having a new settlement built, and this is not a fit place, he rejoined, for them to settle. These sectaries are fond of noise, and they know living within. Then he called the brotherhood together and begged them Go inform the king and have the building put a stop to. The brethren went and stood by the palace door. The king, as soon as he heard of their coming, knew they must become about stopping the new settlement, but he had been bribed, and so he ordered his attendants to say the king was not at home. The brethren went back and told the master. The master guessed that a bribe had been given, sent it to the chief disciple. But the king, as soon as he heard of their coming, gave the same order as before. They too returned and told the master. The master said, "Doubtless the king is not able to stay at home today. He must be out." Next forenoon, he dressed himself, took his bow and goat, and with 500 pretenders walked to the door of the palace. The king heard them come. He descended from the upper story and took from the Buddha his arm bow. Then he gave rice and gruel to him and his followers, and with the salutation sat down on one side. The master began an exposition for the king's behalf. In these words, great king, other kings in bygone days have taken bribes, and then by making virtuous people quarrel together have been dispossessed of the kingdom and been utterly destroyed. And then, at his request, the master told an old war tale. Once upon a time, King Baruch was reigning over the kingdom of Baruch. At the same time, the Bodhisattva was the teacher of the troop of monks. He was an ascetic who had acquired the 5 supernatural faculties and the 8 attainment, 5 năm cái gì đó siêu thần thông và 8 cái gì đó 8 thiền định nữa. And he dwelt a long time in the region of Himalaya. He came down from Himalaya to buy salt and seasoning, followed by 500 ascetics, and they come by stage to the city of Baruch. He went a begging through the city, and then coming forth from it, he sat down by the northern gate in the root of a banyan tree all covered with twigs and branches. There he made a meal, and there he took up his abode. Now when that band of hermits had dwelt there by the space of half a moon, there came another teacher with another 500, who went seeking alms about the city, and then come out and sat beneath just another banyan tree by the south gate, and ate and dwelt there. And the 2 brands abode there so long as they would, and then returned again to Himalaya. Then they had gone the tree by the south gate whither away. Next time they who had dwelt under it came first, and perceiving that their tree was withered, they first went on their rounds throughout the city seeking alms, and then passing out by the northern gate, they ate and abode under the banyan tree, and that was by that gate. And the other band coming afterward, then their rounds in the city, and then made ready their meals, and would have dwelt by their own tree. This is not your tree. This is ours. They cried, and they began to quarrel about the tree. The quarrel was great. They said, "Take not the place where we dwell. Take not the place where we dwell aforetime, and this time we first come, those do not you take it." So crying aloud each that they were the owner of it, and they all went to the king's palace. The king ordained that they who had first dwelt there should hold it. Then the other thought, "We will not allow ourselves to say that we have been beaten by this." They looked about then with divine vision, and observing the body of chariot fit for an emperor to use. They took it and offered it as a gift to the king and begging him to give them to possession of the tree. He took their gift and ordained that both should dwell in the tree, and so they were there all mastered together. Then the other hermits fetched the jewel wheels of the same chariot and asked them to the king, praying him, "O mighty king, make it to possess the tree alone." And the king did so. Then the ascetic repented and said, "To think that we who have overcome the love of riches and the lust of flesh, and have renounced the world, so fall to quarrel by the reason of a tree and offer bribe for it. This is no seemly thing." And they went away and ate all hassle, till they came to Himalaya, and all the spirits that dwell in the realm of Baru with one mind were angry with the king, and they brought up to the sea, and for the space of 300 leagues they made the kingdom of Baru its top it were not, and so for the sake of the king Baru alone, all the inhabitants of the kingdom perished thus. When the teacher has ended his tale and his perfect wisdom, he uttered the following stanza. The king of Baru, as old story says, made holy hermits quarrel on a day, for the which sin it felt that he fell dead, and with him all his kingdom perished. Wherefore the wise do not uproar at all, when that desire into the heart doth fall. He that is free from the girl, whose heart is filled. All that he says is ever true and sure. When the master had ended his story, he added, "Great king, one should not be under the power of desire. True religion persons ought not to quarrel together." And then he identified the verse. In those days, I was the leader of the change. Hiểu không?
Hết rồi, bye bye, see you.
Goodbye.